Zimbabwe is observing 3 days of national mourning following the death of former President Robert Mugabe. Mr. Mugabe, the country's first post-independence leader, ruled until he was ousted by a military coup in 2017. Despite this, his ruling ZANU-PF party has posthumously declared him a national hero. Initially praised for broadening access to health and education for the black majority, Mr. Mugabe later used violence against his political opponents and presided over Zimbabwe's economic ruin.
As we await the arrival of the remains of our dear departed icon, we pray that the good Lord grant him mercies, putting his dear soul to eternal rest. We as Zimbabweans declare days of mourning for our leader until he is buried. The late departed icon will be eternally remembered and honored for the bold and historic land reform program which he undertook. Through this program, indigenous Zimbabweans regained their long-denied land rights to complete their sovereignty. For that, he was especially vilified, shunned, and punished by those who stood to lose from an end to colonial rights and from a just reassertion of African rights.
Russia and Ukraine have completed a long-awaited exchange of prisoners. Those freed include 24 Ukrainian sailors and a person of interest over the downing of flight MH17, which killed 298 people. The swap is expected to ease tensions between the two neighbours. It's time now for sports news on the News at 10 with Ayotunde Balogun.
Many thanks, Gimba. The Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development has announced that the 5th edition of the National Youth Games will begin from September the 9th to the 17th in Ilorin, Kwara State. According to the ministry, over 5,000 athletes from the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, will be competing at the Games. The ministry also added that the Games age bracket has been changed from 17 years to 15 years and warned participating states to comply. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, is expected to declare the Games open at the University of Ilorin Sports Complex. The Delta State emerged as winners of the 4th edition after topping the medals board with 27 gold, 24 silver and 16 bronze medals. The US Open final is currently going on in New York between Serena Williams and, of course, Bianca Andreescu. And the Canadian teenager at the moment is taking the lead in the second set, which is currently ongoing at 6-5. The first set also ended in favor of the Canadian teenager Andreescu by 6-3. Serena Williams is hoping to win this one to equal the all-time record of Margaret Court by winning her 24th Grand Slam title. But at the moment, it's still a battle for Serena Williams as Bianca Andreescu is giving everything she has in that final. Rafa Nadal is eyeing his 4th US Open title after beating Matteo Berrettini 7-6, 6-4, 6-1 to reach the final in New York. For the Spaniard, who triumphed at Flushing Meadows in 2010, 2013 and 2017, will take on Daniil Medvedev in Sunday's showpiece final after he parred through his last 4 clash. Berrettini at one point indicated that a mighty tussle would be on the cards as he raced to a 4-love lead in the opening set tiebreak, but thereafter Nadal stamped his authority on proceedings. That's a wrap on Sports News. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. It's back to you, Gimba.
Thank you, Ayo. And the main news again. The federal government today denied reports of bomb explosion at the South African High Commission office in Abuja. The Minister of Information and Culture, who spoke on behalf of the government, asked Nigerians to disregard fake news orchestrated by desperate people to cause panic and chaos. Also today, the Election Petition Tribunal in Delta State sacked the senator representing Delta South, James Manager. The tribunal also ordered a rerun in 3 months. But the candidate of the APC and former governor of the state, Emmanuel Doin, has said he should be declared the winner of that election. And Russia and Ukraine today completed their long-awaited exchange of prisoners. Those freed include 24 Ukrainian sailors and person of interest allegedly linked to the downing of flight MH17, which killed 298 people. And this has been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for watching. On behalf of all of us here, have a splendid night rest. I am Yamba Umar. Good night.